All right, Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to Yakin pushing this truth throughout the four winds. Shalom to you, brethren. This is the final part to Cain, which is Esau and reincarnation without a doubt, okay? You can go through and watch the other two videos, you know what I'm saying, they're pretty edifying. And this just gonna basically drive it home, okay? I'm gonna go back to Genesis 4 and 12, okay? Now, all these things that we've learned about Cain, you have to basically look at his characteristics, okay? He was naturally a murderer. He was naturally a deceiver. He was naturally a man of outdoors. He was naturally a liar. He was naturally prideful. And these are characteristics on top of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai adding curses to him. Okay, it was all for this story to play out the way it played out. Okay, so we see all the things of Cain that I just named: deceiver, liar, murderer. Now the Lord cursed him with these things on top of what he already was in his natural characteristics. Now he's walking through the planet, and this is the curses on him. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. Now, on top of everything he is, he's also a fugitive and a vagabond. Shalt thou be in the earth. Now, these characteristics and these curses, while he's playing all these things out, you got to keep in mind. Okay, now we're going to get the definition of fugitive. It says to quiver, to totter, to shake, reel, stagger, wander, move, sift, make move, wave, waver, tremble. Okay, so on and so forth. To be tossed. Okay, so these are the biblical things of fugitive. Now let's go to the dictionary. Check this out. A person who is fleeing from prosecution, intolerable circumstances, etc. A runaway. Okay? Now he's a runaway. He's a fugitive. Having taken flight or run away. Okay? Elusive. Transitory. Fleeting. Another one. Wandering. Roving. A vagabond. Dealing with subjects or passing interests as writings. Okay, that's not nothing. And it said a vagabond. It says to shake, wiver, wander, move to and fro. Now the definition out of the dictionary: wandering from place to place without any settled home, nomadic, leading an unsettled or carefree life. Okay, of relating to are characteristics of a vagabond. Disreputable, worthless, shiftless, having an uncertain or irregular course or direction. Now, when we see that Cain, these curses would be on him, and you got to understand, man, how cold Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is, man. Because in the beginning, he already knew how this curse would play out as Esau's blessing. Okay? Now, this is what we have. We have a murderer, a liar, a deceiver, full of pride. That's the person we have in Cain. Okay? Now he was cursed to be someone who wandered around. A fugitive is a thief. A vagabond, that means he has nothing that belongs to him. Now, when he had his blessing that came from, I think I got it down here. Let me see. Right here. It says, and Isaac, his father, answered and said, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of earth and the dew of heaven from above. Okay? So that is his blessing. His blessing is with all these, with that characteristics and with that curse, now I'm going to bless you. Now you're going to be in power. Okay? Wickedness, deceitfulness, lying, murderer, pride. On top of being a fugitive and a vagabond. Now, if everybody found him like that, on top of the cursed skin that he had, it would be a dead giveaway. But now let's make him and put him in power, because now by him being in power, he actually has rule. And by him having rule, he can do and show all of these characteristics and the curses that was on him, and nobody's going to pay attention to it. But these things to the men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai are dead giveaways. Okay? We see him as Cain. We know he was reincarnated as Esau, that he had to play these curses out, and those characteristics. We're looking for it. Okay? So we see it now. Everybody can't see it, because you have some people that say that Esau is Ishmael. Okay? So now we're going to go to one of the characteristics of Cain. This is John 10:10. It says, the thief cometh not but for to steal and kill, to destroy. I am come that they may have life, and they may have it more abundantly. Now, that's the thief. That's the fugitive. The only things he's coming to do is steal and to kill. Okay? Because we knew that Cain wouldn't have nothing that belonged to him. That's why we have today culture vultures. When we create, or when we dominate something, what happens? Esau tries to take it and make it his own. This is because he's in power now. Okay? Who do you see Superman as? Esau. Who do you see everybody of greatness? Who do you see them as? Esau. James Bond. Like, everybody is Esau. Spider-Man. You name it. The Hulk. Everybody is Esau, bruh. That's because they're ruling. So Cain's curse actually became a blessing to him. Because he can say, I'm not Cain, I'm not Esau. Why? Because he's in rule. He's ruling. Okay? He has power in his hands now. So by him having power, all the things that was bestowed upon him, the curses and his characteristics, he can hide them from people that don't really know. Okay? It says, and I'm going to go back to Genesis. It says, verse 40, it says, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt thou serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from thy neck. So now, when you become dominant, you're going to be the ruler. And when you rule, you're already wicked. Okay? So you're wicked, you're a deceiver, you're a liar, and you're a killer, and you're full of pride. How does Esau get lands? Democracy. And if you don't get down with democracy, they take it. That's pride. Okay? That's wickedness. All right? Thou shalt live by the sword. Now you being wicked and a deceiver, and then you have the power of a gun? Go figure. Okay? And this is another form of wickedness. This is 1 John 3 and 12. Not as Cain, who was that wicked one. Okay? So every time we're going to go through all of these things, seeing Cain reincarnated as Esau, you're going to see one key thing that always holds, and that's wickedness. Okay? And it's telling you right here in the beginning he was wicked. It says, not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother, and wherefore he slew him, because his own works were evil, and his brothers were righteous. Same thing with Jacob and Esau. Okay? He sold his birthright. Now he want to kill his brother because you done it. You sold it. So how you going to get mad because and that shows that he doesn't stick to his word. All these characteristics show you who Esau is today. Job 9 and 24. Old faithful here. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who's ruling? He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If Cain wasn't reincarnated to Esau, who was? Did we just not see that Esau would basically have the fatness of the earth? That means he would rule. Okay? It's going to get deeper. Now, more wickedness. 1 Maccabees 1. It says, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim and smitten Darius, and this is the Persian and Medes, the king of the Persian and Medes, that reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. Now we got the Grecians, so-called Edomites. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome and reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. So, when they conquered the Medo-Persian Empire, what happened? Wickedness started reigning. Now we're seeing Esau come back into play, back into power. That same spirit that was on Cain, now it's on Esau. Okay? Now let's notice something. That was the Greeks, right? This is Matthew 2 and 7, and I'm going to jump around. It says, then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. Now let's look at Herod. Herod, heroic, the name of a royal family that flourished among the Jews in the time that Hamashiach and the apostles. Herod the Great was the son of Antipater of Idumea. Now let's look into Idumea. Idumea, the name of the region between southern Palestine and the Arabian Pt3, inhabited by Edom or Esau and his posterity. So, when you see Edom, when you see Idumea, when you see Esau, there you have it. So now we see that Herod was an Edomite. But let's read up on him. Now we seen wickedness from the Grecian Empire. Now we're in the Roman Empire. They overcame the Grecians. But guess what? We have the Greeks that were so-called Edomites, so-called white men. Now we have the Romans, so-called Edomites, so-called white men. It says, and he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again that I may come and worship him. Now, we see deceit. Now he's being deceitful. We got wickedness and deceit. Okay? It says, and being warned of the Most High in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeareth unto Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and flee to Egypt. And be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. Why? Now we're dealing with murder. Okay, because he knew a savior was supposed to come. Now he basically told the three wise men, when you get word, bring it to me, so I want to worship him too. But he was being deceitful. Another characteristic of Cain that's on these Edomites today. Okay? And then we just dealt with murder, because it said he was going to murder them. He was going to murder the child. He was going to murder Yahushua. Okay? It says, then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem and all the coast thereof, from 2 years old and under. So he now is just murdering children. Okay? So we got murderer, we got wicked, and we got deceitful. Same characteristics that was on Cain. Okay? It says, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. So he was saying, well, I know he got to be of this certain age, so we're going to kill all of them that's of this age, because we just might get them. Okay? And this is why. John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil. And devil just means deceiver. Cain was a deceiver. Okay? And the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer. That's why Herod sought to kill Yahushua. Why? Because he was a natural deceiver and a natural murderer. That's why we call you so-called white people devils, because that's what you are. You have the same spirit of Cain inside of you today. Okay, it's evident. That's why you can pull out with a camera on, pull out your sword that you were blessed with, okay? And you can shoot a so-called Israelite and get away with it. You know why? Because you're in rulership now. Okay? You were blessed with this sword, and it's in your characteristics to lie and be deceitful. Okay? Because you can't have someone in the back of a cop car, handcuffed with his hands behind his back, and then say that this guy stuck his hands in the front seat and shot himself in the back with handcuffs on. That's some acrobatic shit. Okay? But this was your curse that turned to your blessing. Okay? It says, he was a murderer from the beginning, just like Cain was. That same spirit on y'all today. And abode not in the truth. The same thing that was with Cain is in you Edomites today, because there is no truth in him. It's no truth in you devils today. Zero. It said you are estranged from the womb. You come out telling lies. It's no truth in so-called white people, bro. Edomites, there's no truth in them. They're highly deceitful. Okay? When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own. For he is a liar and the father of it. So y'all got Cain's spirit on y'all Edomites. These are indicators letting us know who you are. Okay? And the last three the last three rulerships to Edom, so his pride will be raised high. That's why the Grecians came, the Romans, and who we have today as you so-called Europeans. You're all the same, okay? And it's a reason why Yahweh Shem Yahushua done this. Because, right here, your pride would grow. This is Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. That's why they call you Caucasians, because that means cave dweller. Okay? Whose habitation is high. That's why you build high rises. You like your trucks jacked up. All these things are characteristics showing and proving who you really are. Okay? And saith in his heart, in his mind, this is white folks right here. Who shall bring me down to the ground? That's pride. Because you have a Grecian empire, that's so-called Edomites. Then more Edomites come and take them down. Now you have America, so they basically go back all these thousands of years and say, we've been ruling. We've been ruling. So now their pride, because they're being reincarnated, their pride has grown. And you can't see the pride on these devils. Something wrong with you. Okay? And look at this. By them having all that pride, this is what stems from it. Revelation 18 and 5. For her sins have reached into heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Ever since the Greeks, the Romans, now today, Yahweh Shem Yahushua hasn't forgotten none of it. Okay? This is why. Okay? Your sins have reached into heaven. It's a long list you got to answer for. And this is why you know, the main indicator that lets you know that Cain is Esau reincarnated. This is 2 Ezra 6, and I'm going to start at 7. It says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall the end of the first? Shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth. Now, it told you that basically Esau, his blessing would be the fatness of the earth. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Okay, that's why Esau's ruling last. That lets you know he was Cain. His indicators are all throughout his characteristics and all those things. It was set up that way from the very beginning. Okay, it was set up from the very beginning. Somebody had to be wicked. Somebody had to be righteous. That's how this story plays out. It's a reason why we call the scriptures the scriptures. Key word in that is script. We're living a movie here. Okay? You always have a good guy and a bad guy. It just so happened to be that Cain was the bad guy from the beginning. Who always comes out on top? The good guy in the end, which will be us. Okay? It says Esau, and were of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay? So, the beginning was Esau, Cain. Cain lived all his curses out through his blessing. His curses became his blessing. On top of with his characteristics, he's living like a king right now. Okay? But we know who you are. All the indicators point to it. Okay? Hope this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Double honor to the Apostle Nell's Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to you, pushing this truth throughout the four winds. Shalom.